Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. We're back on the Zero to Hero Night Lord. This fresh account we started at the end of last month. I've been a little bit busy with MapleStory Korea, so I didn't have that much time on the Zero to Hero account for like the last 2 weeks. Thankfully though, we still made plenty of progress. Last time when we left off, we had 10k stats and we were level 222. So what I'm usually doing when I'm playing MapleStory, I just keep grinding and keep doing my dailies. I was mostly trading at Hidden Illiard Field in Yum Yum Island after I'm done with my dailies. And if you're grinding there with like your totem, your EXP buffs, all that good stuff, make sure to also always use your Monster Park potions and of course your other EXP buffs when you're grinding. Also grab any MVP buff if you see one announced. I also always go into portals when I'm grinding. Those often reward cubes and sometimes even epic potential scrolls, which are pretty valuable still for this stage of the game. Unless if you're like in a super popular map, or perhaps you're playing in NA Reboot where there's always a bigger risk of losing your map, I would recommend to always go into these portals, especially if you're on a fresh account. So after a bit of grinding, we reached level 225 where we unlock our next symbol, and I still had some Arcane symbol selectors left over from the event and I used all of those on this symbol. I'm not touching Spirit Savior, that daily just isn't for me, so we're just dropping all the symbols on this one. And with them we can get the symbol up to level 5. Then at that time the big Star Force event was finally there. During this time the 5th, 10th and 15th star will always succeed, and because I cleared the Chaos Root Abyss bosses a couple of times, I had a few spares to work with. I usually don't safeguard this gear. You can also transfer some fodder gear if you want to, of course, but I like to just YOLO this gear instead. Got plenty of spares anyway. Thankfully though, for once, we actually didn't need any, we didn't blow up anything, and I managed to get both my bottom and my top to 16 stars, but my hat just straight up refused to budge and rarely made it past 13 stars. That hat is super cursed. But still, we got 2 items to 16 stars with only like 2-3 billion of mesos, so it wasn't that bad. And of course, I also used this opportunity to get some more stars on most of my other gear as well, like, you know, get that to 11. But I was running pretty low on mesos already, even after a few more boss runs, so I just kinda gave up on the hat. I still want to get a bit stronger for our fight with Chaos Venom, the only Chaos Root Abyss boss that we haven't cleared yet. We do have the stats, but the fight still takes pretty long and I just make too many mistakes. I guess that's why I have a Paladin and Shade as my bossers and not a Night Lord. Like, Paladin bossing is just easy mode and Shade is also pretty chill. So instead I want to go for a different tactic. Burst the boss down so fast, there's no need to learn any boss mechanics. I think that's my favorite mechanic in the game. Just one-shot the boss so I don't deal with the boss mechanics. Pretty easy. So to get stronger, I first started the Princess No questline. This boss has a chance to drop a ring, shoulder and belt, and the ring is one of the best rings in the game to get. Because it can be start up to 25 stars, it will make it so much better than most rings. You're not gonna go for 25, but at least the potential is there, right? It can go up to 21, 22, 23, how crazy you want to go. And Princess No also drops tokens that can be used to get the best in slot secondary item for most classes, except for some like Dual Blade and Demon Slayer. The Princess No questline can be started in the starting town of Hayato and Kana, that is just too difficult to pronounce. During this quest we play as best another class Ayame, and after that is done we complete the Will of the Five Planets questline to get full access to the boss fight. Princess No is a horrible boss to fight, because you first have to defeat that pink whale, which is probably the worst boss in the entire game. In case you didn't know, when you're actually fighting Princess No herself and she cages you, you can just leave the map by clicking on the portal at the bottom left and just re-enter the boss fight. So you break free out of the cage, then you can just re-enter the boss fight by going through the portal again. And actually for once we did get lucky. This is our first time fighting Princess No and we actually found the ring. And I upgraded that with some epic potential, got 6% luck on it and 11 stars. After that I did a few more dailies, leveled up once more. And next I wanted to get more IED, boss damage and damage. All of those stats were still lacking. So I leveled up my Hoyoung to level 120, Fortnite Pog, we started playing him earlier. This way we get the level 2 link skill and I got a Luminous to level 70. I actually should have leveled up a Demon Avenger first for the damage link skill, because that will help every other class with grinding. But I was just feeling Luminous. I do recommend to get these characters to level 141 eventually. But if you're short on time like myself, leave them at level 70 or even better level 120. Most of your bonuses early on will come from link skills anyway, so don't feel too forced to get those to level 141 like right away. So after that was done, I still had plenty of level up potions left from the event. Those potions that give a random amount of levels between 1 and 10 after level 140. And you know what is better than having one class that uses throwing stars? Yep, that's right. Having 2 classes that use throwing stars. Meet Ilby, who is a Nightwalker. Also, why the heck did no one take this name? So the reason why I chose to level this class is for a few reasons. None are super great, but hear me out here. There is a Blessing of the Fairy skill and an Empress Blessing beginner skill. The first one is for all classes, but the second one is for all Night of Sickness classes only. These skills don't stack, but the Empress Blessing has a higher max level and increases your attack and magic attack by 10 more than the Fairy one. So we're getting 10 more attack if we get this character to level 200 for free. We're also getting an additional 9 attack from the Link skill Ilby gives, and the Legion effect of this class increases our base luck by 80. So no massive gains, you can probably use those potions better on your Demon Adventure, but they're pretty nice to have. Now, as you know, Night Lords also have no invincibility frames or skills that give invincibility, which is totally not my playstyle. So instead of challenging myself, we're just gonna get some invincibility frames instead. Or well, so I thought. After spending a lot of time with Takano from the Threads of Fate quest, I raised her closest enough to unlock her skill. This skill will fully heal you and makes you invincible for 5 seconds. The Threads of Fate UI is part of the Mushroom Shrine questline. Once you complete that, you unlock the Threads of Fate. You have to talk to the NPCs, give them out gifts and send them on tasks every day or every hour to raise their closeness. So after weeks of forced social interaction, I finally got it. Here we're using it against the Coom arms, and it actually works like a charm. It also defends against Acarium's screen crack, but guess what? Basically any other boss attack just goes straight through it. So it's basically useless unless you're like struggling with Acarium and Sukum. It also has a 30-minute cooldown, so that's a bit of a letdown. Thankfully though, there are more ways to get invincibility frames. Next we're completing the Stellar Detective questline. This one is very reminiscent of the Explorer tutorial. We're just holding spacebar and watching some cutscenes basically. Completing this takes maybe about 30 minutes and it unlocks the Hyperspace Cube PQ. This PQ has you destroy cubes and monsters with some fun gimmicks in between. It's actually kinda cool. You can do this 5 times a day and it rewards boxes. And these boxes can contain various rings and emblems and stuff like that, including the KRR ring that grants invincibility. Now the rewards are random, and I actually didn't get this ring yet. I did get a ring that increases my IED, so that's something. It's just a work in progress, I suppose. By the way, not to raise any alarms or anything, but MapleStory Japan is actually removing Monad and Stellar Detectives from the game. So if you want anything from these dungeons, I would just make sure to maybe prioritize that a bit higher on your list. At this point, we're almost at 13k stats, so it was time to burst down Chaos Vellum. Do keep in mind that I was smart enough to forget to summon my IED familiars when I showed my stats, so my actual IED is a bit higher. Also keep in mind that I get an additional 40% IED from my Frailty Curse debuff that you cannot see in the stat window. So my IED visually is not that high, but in actuality it's a little bit higher. The key when fighting Vellum as a Night Lord is knowing when to attack, as getting stunned will just instantly spell your doom. So make sure to make use of Dark Side to dodge the falling debris, and make sure to dodge everything else and only attack when you have an opening. This fight was still a little bit close, but thankfully we totally finished that with 0 deaths. That's a lot more messes in the bank. After that I gained another level while completing dailies and I started unlocking even more boss fights because we're desperate for messes at this point. I started the Silent Crusade questline. This level 90 quest unlocks the Acarium fight. By the way, if you're having trouble with the screen crack and you don't have an invincibility frame, if Acarium is at the far left or right side of the map, you can jump out of the way of the attack. You just gotta make sure to time it right and that you're actually far away enough, else you'll still die. After Acarium, I also unlocked the Hard Magnus boss fight by completing the questline from Edia and Elysium. This boss is a death simulator, so don't worry too much about losing your lives here. I can defeat this boss in about 2 bursts, so I didn't really care about dying a lot. I just burst at the beginning, whittle him down a little bit more, and then burst again. Thankfully, I don't deal enough damage yet in 1 burst to have him go crazy mode with a super small area around him. So I could just burst him down, whittle him down a little bit, and then burst again, which was pretty decent. Just make sure when you're fighting this boss to sit out the death timer. And of course, as a Night Lord, you can dark side the orbs falling from the sky. Make sure to lure Magnus also into the middle of the map, so you don't have to deal with that gas when bursting. I also should mention that before I went into this boss fight, I leveled up throw blasting quite a bit. I got all the EXP nodes from the events, from the stores, all that good stuff, and got a node all the way up to level 22. Anyway, with Magnus down, we grab his cape and we're off for our next big milestone. I got a secondary from Princess No and started a little bit of a cubing spree. We upgraded our hat, pants, Connor ring and new secondary with various degrees of success. Those pants are straight fire though. And even more good news, the Connor ring we just upgraded can go straight back into my inventory because here are the event rings. While the Connor ring will be better in long term once it gets more stars, the high base stats of the event rings just makes them better to use for now. So I will be upgrading those later today on stream. Sadly though, my birding title did expire, so I'm losing a bit of stats here. So I'm now using the level 100 reward title from the Explorer Redux event. I saved that one because I was assuming this would happen. I'll probably get the Monad title eventually. And finally, I did some more leveling, training a bit at Hidden Iliad Field and Outlaw Street 2 once I could one-shot there. I even had enough Legion coins to grind a bit with those Meso boost cards, making a bit more Mesos while we're grinding. And so I reached level 230 like just earlier today, so we can finally get into the next big area and start unlocking our symbol there later. So let's go over my stats, my gear and whatever that I have. These are my nodes as of right now. They're far from perfect, but I had a lot of trouble finding the perfect node, so some still need some work. And I just hit level 230 as well, which makes room for one more node to slot in. My link skills are still pretty bare as well. I did create a Demon Slayer and Demon Avenger, and will probably create a Beast Tamer because today's the final day to do that. So right now I'm at 900 Legion as well, nothing too exciting to be honest. Stat-wise, we're getting close to 14k stats. This is with my grinding hyper stats on, so I'm losing a bit more ID and boss damage here. Still gotta work on that damage percentage a bit though through link skills. Gear-wise, quite a bit has changed. I now have all the event rings, which I will be cubing later today. Most of my other gear has not been replaced. I did get some really nice potential lines on my pants, and I finally got some decent potential on the hat. I also got an android from the events for just a few more bonus stats, like the heart gives 2% luck, but hey, 2% luck is 2% luck. And I did replace my secondary. I want to make one secondary for grinding with like all the attack percentage lines, and one for bossing with IED, boss damage, all that good stuff. And I also replaced my medal because the stats on that expired as well. After I'll get my Arcane symbol, I should be around 14k stats, so we're getting pretty ready to face off against Lotus soon. And that was all for today. I hope you enjoyed and that the progress was easy to follow. And as always, many thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar, maar waar, Sebastian, Hanoy, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Wiley, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Anwar, NHI, Ziggy, Flidiot, Knifesu, Chen125, Cloudfix, Gusus Rodriguez, Froggy, Vira, Trevor, Michael Menchaka, Ratius, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Stevie Zhang, Afterlord_MS, ceemak, Striker Elk, Tidal and Pun, Victor Sundstrom, Radical Jaws, Riser RU, Gummy Bullet, Lovebird, 32655, Mathias Simonsson, Mr. Narc, Galando Balavia, PC Game Life, Dante Victory, The Passenger, Martin Panzik, I'm Disappointed, Lucky Beats, Gable Eck, Pedro Benedetti, Conrad Cristales, Ace Light, Ben Wolf, Max Bernhardt, Doc on a Taco Box, Muka 1017, BNB King, Scotty Flies Fast, Priscilla, Brendon Cam, Shake One, Vake Botnet, Fecco, Gianfranco Calderon Canavero, Necrodart, Matthew Dev, Only, Rashid Almarudi, and Emperor Chat. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling!